Okay, so as I was preparing this episode 6 of the Glory Days as we follow Fiorentina, I realised I completely messed up which games were shown in the last episode. I believe we showed Juve and our cup game against Salernitana. It was actually supposed to be the Lazio game which we played before Juve. As you may have noticed, we lost to Lazio 3-2 in that game. It was tight, we both had chances, but Lazio just took more than us. But that has left us in this episode having to do a little bit of adaptation. So in this episode we will be looking at our game against Inter, followed by a mid-season review as we're now back in January. So if that sounds good to you, please give it a big thumbs up and we'll head straight into the game with Inter.
And here we go for this top 4 game between Inter and Fiorentina. 4th versus 2nd, we are away. Vlahovic will be returning to the team, as will Gonzalez for Januzaj, Bonaventura on the left. Castrovoli will be coming back into his role. It's always a tough choice between Martinez and Pacquiao. They both had exactly the same rating on the last games, so I'll bring in Pacquiao just to freshen it up. Biraghi also returns to the squad at left back. Nastasic is just about coming back to fitness. As you would expect, it's a strong Inter squad. Interestingly, Vidal isn't starting. Inter line up with wing backs. I'm actually, just before we kick off, going to have a look at how my assistant has set us up to play against this. So I'm just going to try and make sure that we close down those wing backs. Also, this central defender from playing some balls from the back. We're going to tightly mark Dzeko, Hakan, and I'll try with Martinez to begin with, but that may be a bit too many players to be marking in the centre of their attack. Inter pick up the ball. They run forward. Lovely ball through to Dzeko, who gets through and really should have scored. We should be 1-0 down. He got through way too easily. Polgar with a chance to get this in. Castrovoli scores. We go 1-0 up after we almost go 1-0 down. Again, Biraghi was involved. Odriozola played a nice ball. Lovely little. Looked almost like a back heel there from Biraghi. Vlahovic picks it up. Done well there. Milenkovic. Pacquiao. Keeping the ball well, playing it between us at the back, all the way back to Dragowski. Polgar gets it, Odriozola has a chance to come forward. He plays it safe. Polgar, Vlahovic. Oh, that was great movement. And Gonzalez scores. They all combined there. It was way too fast for me to pick out every player that combined. That was, again, great play between them. And Inter come at us again. They managed to get a great through ball through. But they get a corner. We have to defend this 25 minutes in. If they score now, it's all to play for. Torreira. And we play it all the way back. We're keeping it safe. Pacquiao just playing it safe. Again, Torreira, the Polgar, who whips it out but it's caught. Bonaventura plays it. Castrovoli plays it through to Biraghi, who runs forward. Can he get a nice ball in? He does. Gonzalez with the chance here. And he scores after it looked like it was deflected off Vlahovic. And we, after half an hour, are 3-0 up against Inter, a top 4 team. The difference has been again that we've had 9 chances and 8 of them have been on target in comparison to only 2 from Inter. Nice little steps that we have going on here as we just took control of that half. It was all even at this point. Possibly I should just praise them there, but I didn't want complacency to come in, so a few of them are unhappy with that feedback. We have a free kick though after 55 minutes and Polgar almost scores. It was a great save by Handanovic. Bonaventura a chance to whip this in. He does. Milenkovic scores. 4-0. Bonaventura with a great ball out to Gonzalez. He's got a chance, he gets to the byline. Torreira with a volley. Oh, let's see that replay again. 5-0. So there's that lovely ball through to Gonzalez. He picks it up, he runs forward, gets to the byline, stops, whips it back in, and Torreira with that. And the goalkeeper tries to save it, but there's so much power on it. It still goes in the back of the net. At 5-0. I'm not going to change the formation to be control possession. We're going to see as much damage as we can do here. But we are going to make a change. I think that Vlahovic comes off. Actually, no, I'm going to leave him on to see if we can try and get a goal. He's having a great game. Deserves a goal. I think Polgar has played in quite a few matches, so he'll come off. Amrabat will come on. We'll make another sub in a few moments. We need to make a change at the back actually as well. Milenkovic can get a little bit of time off. Martinez with a chance to play in a big game. I think with the changes actually, I will go to control possession. It looks like we may have done about as much damage as we can. I'll bring off Gonzalez, who looks like he's also run his full game. Bring on a little bit of fresh legs on the wings. Januzaj can come on. Handanovic gets it forward to D'Ambrosio. Alexis Sanchez has come on off the bench. Again, D'Ambrosio runs down the wing. He's been given a lot of space here. Vidal gets it in, but we eventually collect it. Biraghi. He just whips it forward. He's playing it safe now. They're keeping it on this side. Alexis Sanchez with a chance to get one back, and he hits the bar. They do deserve that if that went in, 1 goal. And somehow we've managed to beat Inter 5-0. We were good for it on goals. Apparently they deserved 1.3. We deserved 2.5. So we should have edged it. 5-0 is a bit of an extreme. It's just one of those games where everything which gets on target almost goes in. And with that result against Inter, we keep the pressure on Lazio. The top of the table, just 3 points off them. Okay, so I think how we will do the next episode is we will show Atalanta and Napoli. As Napoli is in 3rd place, Atalanta are sitting in 5th. I think those are 2 tough games. We have quite a tough run up at the moment. Empoli are sitting at the bottom of the table. Replace Salernitana again. The main reason we'll lose that is if players simply don't turn up. But I'll try and keep the pressure on them so that we can keep up the pace with Lazio at the top. I hope you've been enjoying this series so far. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm, with the channel in general, to show people that this is good content. If you're enjoying it as well, please subscribe, because we're going to keep these coming. These videos are going to come daily. At the moment, the time is set up to be scheduled for 4:30. Anyway, I hope you've been enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Okay, so our comfortable win at Inter was followed by another comfortable win at Salernitana, and those results set us up nicely to have a look at where we stand. So we currently still sit second, just below Lazio in the league. We have a 9-point gap at the moment between us and Napoli, but we have an interesting doubleheader coming up between us and Atalanta, and then followed by the Napoli game. Both of those teams are in the top 5, so that's going to be a real proof in the pudding moment. If we can win both those games, that will give us even more breathing room. So I figured with things going so well, we would have a bit of a look at the squad, how the squad is actually doing overall, so we can see that everybody has been performing exceptionally well. Dragowski, for instance, is really exceeding my expectations this season. At the beginning, I thought we were going to have to find another goalkeeper. We've had Martinez, also the youngster, play really quite well. He's now wanted by, you guessed it, Napoli, Atalanta, Lazio. So some big teams in Italy and Olympic Lyon. Igor, again, another youngster, really came a long way. I'm sure he was only 3 stars at the start of the season. He's now progressed and become a 3.5 star player, and his ratings are still going up. Amrabat is one of the few who hasn't really played many games, so he's not had much opportunity to really develop as we would like him to. He's been injured a lot, actually, so it's no fault of his own. Krunic just came in. He's done a decent job, gotta say. He really started off well, and he's not bad. He's just not been quite as up to the same standard as the rest of the team. But he's came in, he's filled that role nicely when we've needed him, so no complaints. Januzaj's been a great signing. He's come in, you can see he's scored 6 goals, 2 assists in his 12 games. Polgar as well. He wasn't a signing, he was here, but 19 games, 6 goals, 5 assists. He's been a real creative force in that midfield. We can then see that Sotol has actually done not too badly. His sort of last match was poor, but his average rating, again, has been pretty good. He's also chipping in with goals and assists. Pitagna, one of our signings, he's doing quite well as well. 4 goals and 4 assists, so considering I wasn't expecting quite as much from him, he's done quite well. Our backup goalkeeper hasn't played a game. Dragowski's been great. No need for him. Milenkovic is injured, has really fulfilled his potential now. I would expect we're going to struggle to keep him. Mali again hasn't really played that well. However, it's because we just haven't been able to fit him into the team so far. So he's a youngster. I'm thinking about actually sending him out on loan to try and get a bit of game time, but so far no one has really took us up on that offer. I'd rather put one on loan than sell him. He's got good potential. In talking about transfer business, Biraghi recently had offers come in from Real Madrid and Inter, going by the form of Igor. We could have potentially sold him, but he's been so good for us this season. He's had 4 assists, 2 goals, and you look at how much Igor's actually chipped in, because Igor's played 8 games, 2 subs. Biraghi's played 14 games, and he's provided this, whereas Igor's only provided 1 assist. That's the difference between them at the moment, is that creative force and what they can do going forward. And so far, Biraghi's got a hell of a lot more going for him than Igor. So I declined the offers and gave a ridiculously big asking price. That put them off, but now Biraghi's unhappy, and we're going to have to see if we can get him to break out of this. Nastasic, well, he's still hanging around, but he's only played 2 games for us. He's not been great. He's still probably unhappy. So far I haven't been able to get rid of him. He's still lingering. Let's actually just try and offer him again right now.
Torreira's played decent. You can see Bonaventura actually. I think he might even be the oldest player in this first team at 32. We recently gave him a new contract for another 2 years. That was mainly because there was Shakhtar trying to take him off for free at the end of the season. So he's played a lot of games for us. I didn't see any harm in giving him the 2-year contract. It wards off Shakhtar. I mean, you can see here he scored 5 goals, produced 7 assists in only 13 games, so he's doing exceptionally well. He's actually playing out of his normal position on the left wing, where he can do it, but he wants to be in the centre midfield. He's playing well, so we told him he would be playing more as an important player. He's happy to stay, and that means that we can make some money off him potentially the next year or so when he does start to age. Travato, the youngster as well, I've really struggled to try and get him out the door. His potential's really low, but no one really wants to take him, even on a free. So we're still trying, but he's still here. Gonzalez, although he's been a bit up and down, he is still putting in a good rating. You can see 7.29. He's equally on par as the others. Scored a lot of goals, provided a lot of assists, and that's kind of been the fundamentals of our game. Really, goals have been coming from everywhere. See it, Vlahovic ended up scoring 9 so far, and also he's a provider with 3. Castrovoli has played quite a few games for us. He scores some goals, but interestingly, he's not created much. Whereas Krunic doesn't score goals, but has created the same amount. So it looks like Krunic a bit less selfish. But Vlahovic, again, another one who's really starting to fulfill his potential, scoring a lot of goals, providing. You can see his stats still going up. So he's a crucial player. And the longer that we can keep him, the better. We've tied him down to 2026, so his asking price is really high. In terms of Serie A, we can see that Vlahovic is the top scorer for us, but he's certainly not the top goal scorer in the league. Our highest average rating for a player is Milenkovic. He's really been a rock at the back. And the most assists, interestingly, is Gonzalez and Bonaventura. Say Bonaventura was real creative up there. So if we look at the detailed stats, we can see kind of what we said all along. We're not the top for possession. We actually struggle, I'd say, for possession. Apparently not as much as I think we do. Average possession is still about 51%. But I think because we play some risky passes most of the time in the high tempo, then we are a bit risky. We do lose it a little bit, but at the same time it creates a lot of chances. So you can see here that we have the best away form. Lazio get the best home form. Lazio obviously top of the league. Lazio have gone 19 games without losing, but I think we've got one of the strongest defence. We don't concede much. So we've went again 4 games without conceding any goals at all. I mean, effectively, Immobile is just outscoring everyone, and that's why Lazio are outscoring everyone. But we still have the highest expected goals for. We're creating the most clear-cut chances. 70 in 19 games seems like a lot. Lazio have got the highest conversion rate. Again, that's Immobile. In terms of defending, we've only conceded 9 in total, which is the lowest. We've got the most clean sheets at 13, and we actually win the possession a lot. I think that's because we're so high up the pitch, we're winning it higher up the pitch. Lowest shots against and shots on target against. If we just go to the overview page for the players, I think, you can see Immobile has scored 27 goals this season. And now you can see how good our defence has been. That Dragowski has got both the fewest conceded and the most clean sheets. That lines up well with the whole team because he's played every game. Odrizoula's won the most games here, 15. Vlahovic. This is maybe why he's not scored as much as Immobile. He's been offside 21 times. If you add them onto his tally so far this season, he would be a lot closer. Milenkovic, again, that rock at the back, he makes a lot of interceptions. Odrizoula and Milenkovic also win the possession a lot. You can see he's got the highest average rating. Igor's actually up there as well, the 4th highest average rating. To think I'm not selling Baraghi, because they're really toughing it out for that position in the team. Dragowski, the highest save percentage at 84%. And the most assists in 90 minutes, we got Gonzalez and Bonaventura, so we got them really quite high up there. They're creating a lot for us. And we have even more if you look in this one. We actually have Patagna up there as well. We've got Polgar up there. Then it's Salopim. So we have actually started, we're now in January, and the transfer window is back open again. I'm not really looking at making too many moves unless I'm forced to, which I hope I won't be. That means that we're actually just doing a bit of a clear out of all the youngsters. So from this point on, in Parato, we've managed to get these 5 players out the door so far. We got Terzic out on loan, managed to get Imperato out, also managed to get Coffee out, Giri out, Petronelli. So all these youngsters who don't really have much potential have managed to either get them out for small sums of money or on a free or even a loan, just to help with the transfer kitty if we need it. Gianluigi Suevo is a signing which we made. Our scout said that he was going to have 3.5 star potential, I'm sure. But suddenly, his now that we've got him at the club, his potential has dropped to about 3 stars. So that's a little bit disappointing that we've brought him in. His stats look okay though. Although the star rating doesn't look that great, his stats look okay for where we would potentially be playing him. So if he's going to be an inside forward, he looks pretty good. Inverted winger, probably his most suitable position. He looks good in there. So what we're going to try and do is get him out on a loan so he can develop. On that, I think really we're just going to try and bring in some young players just to help with the club vision, because they're absolutely devastated. I haven't signed any high reputation players so far to help with boosting the economy of the club. And they're pretty devastated that I haven't signed many under the age of 23. So the only way of doing that is to actually go about signing some. And considering we have no money, well, I say no money, we've got 178k now, which is more than we had. We've got a tiny bit of a transfer budget. We're only really going to fit in young players in this. So we may have a look at some cheap young players can bring in just to try and satisfy those club vision requirements. And that's where we are. So we're heading into this transfer window not looking at buying anyone, just clearing out the dead weight, continuing on as we are, trying not to lose any players, and to hopefully keep up our title charge. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and you'll continue to watch the future episodes. If you have liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. I'd love to also hear your thoughts on the episode, how we're going, if you would sell Baraghi right now to get a little bit extra kitty in and bring someone else. Please do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode.